Is your AHJ right or is your AHJ wrong? Let's take 2 minutes to talk about it. So first thing, let's talk about what is the job of the AHJ. And their job simply is their code enforcement. They are there to enforce the requirements of the code for the fire alarm system within buildings. They are there to interpret the code and they make the determination of what codes and additions are being used. Things are always going to be done the way the AHJ wants. It's their jurisdiction, so it's their rules. AHJ requirements are always going to be followed unless they violate code. So here we are, our fifth scenario. We have a corridor that is 10 foot wide and it's 500 feet long. The designer would like to use only 13 detectors in this corridor. However, the AHJ wants to use 17. What is the minimum number of detectors required? And to give an understanding of what the number is required, being lowest number, I have to explain to you the 0.7 rule for smoke detectors. What I have is figure A1763111G, which tells us if we have an area of our room with a dimension that is less than the spacing of the smoke detector, so less than 30 feet, we can extend the spacing of that detector beyond 30 feet. It just depends on what that smaller area is. So in our example, our corridor is 10 foot wide, which gives us the ability to space those smoke detectors 41 feet apart. Looking at this room is 30 by 30. If you put a single smoke detector dead center of this room, you meet the requirement of covering all the walls as well as being half the distance off all the sidewalls. However, there is something that we do need to take consideration of. And that is going to be how far away we are from the corners, which will exceed 15 feet. With your automatic detectors, smoke detectors is what we're talking about in this case, they have to be able to cover 0.7 times the full distance of their coverage in any one direction. So 21 feet in any one direction away from that detector will cover, including all of the corners. We call this 21-foot radius around that room circle of protection. Anywhere within 21 feet of the detector is protected by that detector. So here's our corridor, 30 foot wide. We've got 30 foot coverage, 30 by 30, 30-foot spacing. However, we shrink those walls in again, and we can extend it up to 41 feet because within 21 feet of any one direction, I still have coverage. And even spacing them 41 feet apart, each detector is going to have overlap. So with that in mind, 0.7 rule is for corridor applications. It does allow us to use less devices. A lot of AHJs don't recognize or accept the 0.7 rule. So in this instance, was the AHJ right or wrong? I'll let you decide.